Breaking news, y'all. What's going on, man? Via Hayes Fawcett of On 3. This is the official former true freshman for Ohio State has officially committed to South Carolina. He has officially committed to South Carolina. 4 years of eligibility left. This one is very intriguing. And the reason I say that is obviously South Carolina, they had a lot of momentum going into last year. Obviously, had a great freshman coming back. Kyle Kennard hits the NFL draft. Obviously, got Dylan Stewart, who's going to get a lot of NIL money. But a team that played a lot better. Some guys transferred in, some guys transferred out. The reason this is interesting because Lenora Sellers is a freshman. I think he ended up winning SEC Freshman of the Year, and I think it was all SEC team as well. He really came on late. Now, some of the things with him, as far as working on with him, is continue to get better with the short and intermediate routes, right? That is going to be crucial for him. You know what I'm saying? His accuracy, right? His deep ball throwing is some of the best. Like him and DJ Lagway, I think, are some of the better deep ball throwers. But he struggles with some of those accuracy things. But one thing he can hurt you with is his wheels. And he showed that against Clemson, and he showed that towards the back half of the season. So you got that coming back. So what's intriguing is, okay, let's say Lenora Sellers continues the ball for the next 2 years. Okay, he'll end up hitting, obviously, an NFL draft if he is eligible and he's won and he's a top prospect. My question, though, for Aaron Noland is obviously, where does that land with him? 6'2", 220. Now, is Aaron Noland going to South Carolina maybe to learn under the tutelage, obviously, of their head coach, Shane Beamer, learn under that offensive coordinator and just continue to fine-tune his craft and then maybe transfer another year or two? I think it's very intriguing because the looks of it is, unless somehow, some way, Lenora Sellers tanks his sophomore season, which obviously we've seen sophomore slumps, I don't see him hitting the field, next year. I don't see Aaron Noland hitting the field. Now, obviously, for his eligibility, he ended up having a red shirt. But that was my kind of question for him. Like, what is his true goal here and what he's trying to do? To me, on the outside looking in, I have no knowledge, no inside source or any of that. But on the outside looking in, it seems like Aaron Noland is going there to continue to develop, hone his craft, and eventually maybe transfer to another school where he can be the primetime guy. Because unless Sellers, one, gets injured, or two, just completely tanks off with his play, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, on the South Carolina part of the perspective, it does make sense because, one, you add QB depth and you add a quarterback that's a former 5-star that knows what he's doing. He's won a state championship here in Georgia or in Atlanta in the 22 season with Hughes. So you're bringing that kind of pedigree and a guy that's hungry as well and is looking to prove himself and show his shot, essentially. So for South Carolina, it makes a lot of sense. Like I said, it checks those 3 boxes I just outlined. But for Aaron Noland, it's very intriguing to see kind of what he's trying to do basically with his future. But again, got 4 years of eligibility left, so we'll see what happens here, but likely will not be a starter next year unless something drastically change. But obviously they got Lenora Sellers, so I think they feel pretty good about him. Raheem Sanders, that receiving core is pretty good. Harbor had a pretty good, a decent year this past year. That defensive line, one of the better ones in the SEC. So it's going to be intriguing to see what happens here, but I want to give my full reaction to Aaron Noland officially hitting obviously the portal and now officially committing to South Carolina. But Gamecock fans, y'all let me know. What's your thoughts on landing this true freshman transfer standout, Prentiss Aaron Noland? Are you happy that it adds more depth to your team and your program in case anything happens to Lenora Sellers? Or are you kind of like, are you kind of ho-hum on it? Like, hey, it's cool. We'll take it. Let me know your thoughts. I am happy for Aaron Noland, though, that he gets a shot somewhere else. But it'll be interesting to see kind of how his career progresses, especially with Lenora Sellers having such a great freshman year and also being named all SEC. That's something to take into account as well for him. But nonetheless, man, we'll see what happens going forward. Happy for Aaron Noland. Maybe he'll get that opportunity down the line. If not, he'll use this experience to continue to elevate his game and eventually find a home spot.